For more on the rough road ahead for the global auto industry, we're joined once again by Roben Farzad. He is a senior writer and columnist for BusinessWeek magazine. Roben, welcome back to the program.
My pleasure.
You know, we often hear about the challenges that are facing the big three here in the United States, but the foreign car companies are also in trouble. Are the reasons exactly the same?
This is at its core a cyclical business. If you're going to buy a $25,000 or above vehicle, it's always going to be difficult in a recession, and you're talking about a global recession here. And if you look at Toyota posting its first net loss in 71 years, that's a function of not just these tough times economically, but also the Japanese yen has been vexingly expensive. So it's harder to export cars profitably.
So looking ahead to 2009, what are the prospects for auto sales going ahead?
If you're a car maker, you hold your nose, you lay off workers, you idle plants, and you pray for the best. And as we've seen time and again, the ones that have taken hard steps and discipline up front are the ones that are best positioned to weather the storm. So you're going to see much of the same. Toyota and Honda and some of the other automakers prospering. The big three likely to become the big 1.5 or 2.
So what kind of measures did they take overseas that perhaps we can benefit from here at home?
Being extremely nimble with their supply chain, pushing a lot of grief on suppliers, not allowing any sort of excess in the chain. Everything is done to a precision level. We have to make sure that parts, every year the cost on parts only goes up by this many pennies per unit. We have to make sure that hourly wages only go up by this much. We have to make sure that miles per gallon, that's an upward trajectory. Toyota especially has been micromanaging this for 40 years. If you tour a Toyota factory, whether in the United States or abroad, this is a science, this is an art form, and they obsess and fixate on this. It's more of an afterthought in Detroit.
Right, I mean, so given the global economic downturn, are there any markets out there that we can think about being tapped that haven't been tapped, even the emerging markets like China and India?
They're all being tapped. Frontier markets, that was the big theme last year, that maybe, just maybe, North Africa and certain parts of Latin America and Asia that haven't been tapped before are at the very vanguard. But again, this is not low-hanging fruit for Detroit. If you're thinking of getting there and beating another company to this market, you have your work cut out for you, because this is an intensely monitored and researched, and as we're learning now, crowded space, and every penny is being fought for.
All right, Roben Farzad, as usual, thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.